Math isn't just numbers on a page, it's the story of the world around us. Think about a stadium counting its fans, or an airline trying to track every single piece of luggage on a flight. These are problems solved with thousands, even tens of thousands. But the real challenge isn't the size of the numbers. It's that these problems come to us as stories, as words. The trick is learning how to take that story and find the simple calculation hidden inside. There's a 4-step strategy for this, a kind of decoder for word problems. It's called CUBS, C-U-B-S. C is for circle. This is about spotting your raw materials. In any story problem, you find the numbers, the data, and you circle them. That's your starting point. U is for underline. This is your mission. What is the story actually asking you to find? You underline that question so you don't lose sight of the goal. Then comes B for box. This is where you find the secret instructions. Words like total or altogether are clues that tell you to add. Words like difference or leftover are clues telling you to subtract. These keywords are the key to unlocking the right operation. Finally, S is for solve and check. You do the math, but then you step back and ask the most important question. Is my answer reasonable? Does it actually make sense in the real world? Let's walk through one. A school library has 4,230 fiction books and 3,120 nonfiction books. The story asks, how many books are there in total? Okay, let's use our tool. C, circle the numbers, 4,230 and 3,120. U, underline the question, how many books are there in total? B, box the keyword. That word total is our big clue. It means we need to add. So S, solve. 4,230 plus 3,120 equals 7,350. Now for the check. Is it reasonable? Well, 4,000 plus 3,000 is 7,000, so 7,350 sounds perfectly logical. We've turned the story into a number, but we're not quite done. The answer isn't just 7,350 books. The units matter because they keep the number connected to the story. The same logic applies whether you're adding books, subtracting empty seats in a theater, or even tackling a multi-step problem. Imagine Sarah has $4,200 and spends $1,550 on a laptop. The question asks you to round her remaining balance. See, it's 2 steps. First, you spot the keyword spends, which means subtract. 4,200 minus 1,550 is 2,650. Then you follow the second instruction, round it to the nearest thousand. That gives you $3,000. The strategy holds up even when the problems get more complex. Ultimately, this is about more than just finding an answer. It's a way of thinking. It teaches you that reading the question carefully is half the battle, that being faced with a big number doesn't change the method, and that if you get stuck, sometimes the best thing you can do is just draw a quick picture of the problem. So the next time you see a large number in a news headline or hear a statistic on the radio, you won't just see a figure, you'll see the start of a story, and you'll have the tools to figure out the rest.